technology side,
not
that you
on
have
the
cracked
revenue
the
side.
technology.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Now, are there numbers now, like the impact numbers or revenue numbers? Is that now that you have crossed that stage, have you started talking about it?
Right. So we right now we are also experimenting a bit on the pricing part, because air purifiers, especially in India and globally also, is fairly a new phenomenon. So people are now just putting their mind, okay, this is a good number for me to invest in the air purifier. So we are also experimenting on the pricing part. So for us, the number of users that we can bring in is the measure for us. So right now we are working with close to 10,000 customers, and this is what we call early revenue stage. Right now, the latest report that I got, in India this year, close to 5 lakhs of air purifiers were sold. So we want to get to a number wherein we are also, catering to almost 5% of that market segment. So once we achieve that number, we will try to focus on, growth channels, growth hacking, and maybe we call our officially that we have crossed the early revenue stage.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, really nice. It just shows the bad state of the country that so many air purifiers are selling every year, and I don't know what the CAGR for this looks like. But yeah, that definitely does mean good business for you. Coming to Kamna, because you have a community, please talk a little bit about your community, because you have a climate community. And first, let's hear from you about your community, and then I would like to also know that as a woman, and we've been like since morning and all the discussions we've had, we've been talking about that as women, there are certain layered challenges that we face. There is implicit bias when you walk into a room, all of this. But in my journey, sometimes I've also experienced that it flips. Has it ever happened for you, or you've just stuck to facing implicit bias, whatever it is? So let's talk about your community and the biases, gender biases.
Sure. Hi everyone. Thank you, and thank you first of all, for having us here. I run a company called Ant Purpose. We are about 4 years old now, 5 years old now. We started building the community about 2 years ago, and it all came to being because I was an outsider in the space of impact and sustainability, and I was looking for a tribe where I can belong to and I can perhaps learn from. And I was not able to find it, and the entrepreneur in me was like, let's first solve for that. Let's build our own community and our own tribe. So we started building that about 2 years ago. We run 3 verticals under Ant Purpose Agency, Grants, and the Forums and Summit. It's through our grants vertical. That's another thing that we do, which was actually the initiator of the Ant Purpose community. So again, as an outsider, the second problem which I saw was that, okay, I need money for my business. How do I get it? And I'm solving in this space of impact and sustainability. So how do I find that money? Again, it was difficult to find that money. So I thought, let's solve for everyone. So we started scouting for a lot of grants and that information and publishing that on our website. We have so far published over 1,500 grants on our website, scouted across the world. The community is now about 1,500 plus people strong, again across the country, and some presence in Africa as well. And I think the bottom line of community is just this, that people find some common space and they start to come together and they feel okay to help each other and support each other. So that kind of worked for us. That's for the community part that we have been building. The idea is just that it's a massive problem in front of us. It needs collective effort, and there should be a place to go to. We want that place to be that if you're building in this space and you want any type of help, support, and then more partners like yourself, if you all can come together and maybe become that open source kind of a platform for anyone to starting a career, building in a career like this, or just and I think because I transitioned from e-commerce to impact after 13 years of building in that space. So a lot of people in the last 2-3 years I've spoken with are transitioning in the same space, and they often have similar questions, So I kind of encourage them कि आप आ जाओ, join करो और पूछ लो, किसी ना किसी के पास तो जवाब होगा ही आपके सवालों का. So that kind of helps. That's the power of a community. Talking about the gender bias, yes, or maybe my experiences. I've in my e-commerce ventures. I used to be a female entrepreneur building brands which were also doing their own manufacturing. So, and me and my husband used to work together, and I was sharing this with you before. So I've seen a lot of times when that bias will come in not only from external people but also from your own team. They won't want to listen to you, and they'll look over your shoulder that the man in the team will perhaps tell us to do something, and we will then follow. But you kind of circumvent your way. I was listening to everyone outside, and I think, like Dr. Rajan said, resilience is the only way. And I think आपने ही कहा कि हमने जब when you have picked up this choice, that you have to build in this space, तो आपको पता है what you are getting into, so might as well have fun with it, than to get scared with it. So yeah, that's that.
I really like that. So I have two related questions, one for Janvi and one for Kamna again. So your question is that, like Sanjay, he has very clearly now identified that he is in early revenue stage. Where do you place yourself? Are you still hustling in the early stages, or you think that you are close to crossing, or what would it take? Is there a milestone, whatever that milestone would look?
We're always hustling. I think if I could adopt that as a second name, I will take that as my second name. We're always hustling. That doesn't go away. But I don't remember stopping hustling even in my last, in my last business that I did. वो तो आपसे जाता ही नहीं है ना. And if you don't hustle, you don't, because you yourself keep pushing the envelope a little higher always. At our stage of things, I have been a new person in this domain, so of course it has taken me a lot of time to find my footing, for people to trust us, for people to know who we are, what we are trying to do. So yes, the answer is yes, we are hustling. But I think even 5 years from now, if you'll ask me, I'll be still hustling for something. So that will stay true to, till the time I stay in this, I think I'll be hustling. So yeah.
With a related question for you, Janvi, is like she said that, as a woman, she had to, even in her own company, she had to prove herself. And I've had a very, very similar experience, and we were sharing that I had to prove every day that, look, here, I mean business. For you, so many years ago, how was it? Is the Northeast better than at least the north of India? Something? I want to hear something positive.
Yes. And first, there's never been a sort of a gender bias in the Northeast. So it was, of course, there was a societal pressure of sorts, because a young married woman, I married in 81, and our daughter was 2 years old when we said, no, we really have to start going out, start getting back to work. I used to be, working in the newspaper before. But my husband said, no more working for others, let's do something of your own. Let's start this. So since he was in tea and I would, sit in the office with our 2-man staff, it was like, why does she need to work? Doesn't her husband earn enough?
Yeah.
So that was there. The societal pressure was there. But always 35 years down the line in Assam, if anyone's sitting at home, they're like, why is she at home? Why isn't she out working? That's such a happy space now. But that was about it. But I thought once you could had the domain knowledge, nobody, walked over you. And if you could, so I had worked throughout my first 20 years in the travel business, when we became like the first IATA agent of the Northeast, for instance, when everyone was complacent and would go to Calcutta for a simple ticket, even to reissue. Forget about the reissuing a ticket, they went to Calcutta, entire 8 states. And my husband and I said, what is this rocket science? Let's find out. It's a very closed world, So until American Express came to the Northeast wanting a travel services partner, card services partner, and they chose us. We were such a fledgling company then, but we got that. And with that, we went to Lufthansa and got that training in Mumbai. But otherwise, it's a closed world. So that's how Northeast, I think, that time felt even more emotionally, out of the mainland India sort of a thing. And here, 2 of us went. We got the IATA certification. We opened up the Northeast, and that credit has always remained, and the airlines still always look for us. So those are the satisfaction. Maybe first mover also wanted to do something for your own state. Because it used to really bug us when we went And travel agents in Calcutta would say, oh, Northeast people are so simple. Paisa leke aata hai, sab liye, you know, they buy their ticket. We have to find out what is it that is stopping our people from having that IATA agency. The 1996, and years later, the others have come on.
Yeah.
Today, we take things like this for granted.
Yeah.
But to see where you are and what you can do for your region and, you know, do it well, that was the challenge. Happy we did it. And besides the societal pressure, you just ignore it and go on. If you have your family support, husband support,
Yeah.
it worked out. So we stuck in there and did it.
Yeah, and one more thing that I'm hearing is, while it was difficult, you also had the first mover advantage in a certain way because you went out of your way to figure
Yes.
this out. And that would have played out in your business for a very long time before the world
and
really
also
caught
we
up.
identified opportunities. If we could have just been a Me Too and sat there and become, and mind you, when we took the first ticket stock, for instance,
Yeah.
that time it was only Indian Airlines monopoly. And
Yeah.
you needed to give a 5 lakh, fee,
Deposit.
which we couldn't do, anything like that time. But, so we became a sub-agent. So, and here we were working without ticket stock, but nobody cared. All they wanted was the service. So those were interesting things along the way. Give service, people don't care where your ticket comes from. Then, of course, we got our own stock. We were the first to bring in Damania Airlines and East West Airlines. And Indian Airlines was close to suing us or threatening us because, you know, we were moving into their territory. So talk about those days. And when the microfiber, optic fiber came in, and all the agents were resistant to having that computer in the room, we said, okay, we will invest the money, but please give us the computer. So we've come from the telex days to now.
To now, yeah. No, fantastic. You know, I
Yes.
think Sanjay would relate to some of it. Probably you are also one of the first who's trying to figure out this technology and all of that, and that's why you made it to Shark Tank. I think the room would be very interested in knowing what really goes on over there, and what happened. Did you choose to get funded? If you did, then what is the kind of mentorship that you're receiving? Has it changed anything for you, or it is just like a lot of fluff? And we just feel very fascinated from outside. So can you give us some real insights, tips? One thing definitely that it gives you visibility. So if somebody wants to appear on the show, then all of those things. So some of those important nuggets, whichever way you feel right.
So we appeared on Shark Tank in the season 2, and few things that were very clear to us was that so our work generally gets a lot of attention because the proposition is such that, you know, we are using plants and, you know, using water to clean the air, and it's all sustainable. Fortunately, we have received a number of recognitions from UN and other bodies as well. So generally, our work has been appreciated and has been in people's eyes from the very beginning. So in the season 1 also, we had the chance to appear on Shark Tank when it was just starting up. And then we really sort of took a step back and thought, what do we want from Shark Tank? Because general trend was that, you know, if you're getting that opportunity, just go and get it. But we really felt that we were not actually ready to appear on a public platform like the Shark Tank, because it gets you a lot of visibility.
Yeah.
And visibility is not always, you know,
Good.
positive or maybe good. So we waited it out. We waited till the point when we felt that the technology is at par. We were really very confident that our products or solutions can give a good commercial or sustainable solution for people living in metro cities, because our work is very much in the healthcare domain. So, you know, majority of our consumers are people who are suffering from different respiratory issues or maybe have someone sick at their home. So we did not want to appear on a public platform and not able to leverage that visibility that you were talking about. So we skipped the first season and we went ahead and we tried going to the second season, and fortunately we appeared on second season. And the experience, I mean, it's quite fascinating, to be very honest. The shoot was done in the same studio where the KBC, generally gets shot. So, all those things come with the whole experience. Uh, yeah, I mean, so those are some of the things which, you feel really good about it. But when it comes to the business, ultimately it is just an investor pitch which is happening on national television. So you have to be very careful that you don't, just focus on the visibility part or the national television glamour part of it. So you have to be very clear with your numbers, with your ask, how you're pitching, and also do a little bit of modification because uh, it's going to appear on a national platform for mostly Hindi speaking audience. So वहाँ पर you need to sort of uh, try to get your pitch done for a wider audience, and especially in Hindi. So that was a little bit tricky for us because we generally don't speak numbers or business aspects in Hindi. So that was a little tricky to get our pitch right. So we had almost 2 days of practice to do that, and people at Shark Tank, they were very supportive and they really corrected that pitch. So those things happened during the whole experience, and finally we got an offer from Namita Thapar, and the show ended, and we started working towards getting that fund and focusing on the next set of things that we wanted to do in that financial year. It took us some time to get that fund in. Uh, it eventually did. Namita Thapar got onboarded. She is an active sort of member of the cap table, and a few more people joined in the same round. We also got IIT Ropar as the leading investor in that particular round. Uh, but yes, coming back to Namita Thapar, she has been a tremendous sort of mentor to us. She has taken huge interest in, I mean, I think her journey also started, her startup investment journey also started at the similar time of Shark Tank. So she has taken very good interest in working with all the Shark Tank founders that she has invested with. We meet a couple of times formally in 1 year, and then she always is very reciprocal of new ideas. Primarily, her focus is marketing. So wherever she can help out or assist with the marketing part of our work, or maybe she comes from healthcare background. So if there is some networking opportunity, she can push or maybe introduce us to some of her network. So those are the things that she's actively try to assist us. But in general, she's very open. She takes a lot of interest in especially health care startups. So we are very fortunate to have her, and the journey now goes beyond Shark Tank. So I think now it's been almost 3 years since that happened. But yeah, it has continued ever since. And you also spoke what happens once you appear on Shark Tank. So for any startup, I think we talk about, especially in the marketing or the sales side, you try to identify spikes that you can create during your journey, especially for when you try to create demand for your products or solutions. So Shark Tank definitely created a huge spike in terms of demand. In a single day, I think we never saw that kind of spike ever again. Close to 20 lakh visitors we got during 1 week. So you have to be ready to leverage that kind of incoming traffic. So that is the point that I was telling you about, that we wanted to have something so that we can leverage that kind of visibility and that traffic, and we waited it out, appeared on season 2. But yes, I mean, fantastic platform for visibility, but you have to be very careful and use it when you are ready, and get yourself also ready to get to that
Yeah.
kind of show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see that more and more startups are pitching at Shark Tank for visibility more than anything else now. That has become a standard trend. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, coming to Kamna, I mean, when we talk of startups and all of that, pivot has become a, another buzzword, and everybody is talking about pivot. In your entrepreneurial journey across your projects, your startups that you were doing, did you have to ever pivot? And if you had to pivot, then did you know that this is the right time to pivot? When is it that one decides that I have to pivot, I have to close, I have to continue to do the same thing? I don't know.
So yeah, okay. So this is a sad story, but yet now to have fun with. So we started our e-commerce journey early on when Junglee came to India. Amazon came to India with Junglee. So 2011, 2012 is when we started our e-commerce journey. At that time, we used to run a coupons company. If you remember, discount coupons
Yeah.
का काफी craze था उस time पे. One foolish thing that we did was, and I think that's in hindsight, if you learn from it, I learned from it. We created a fantastic product. We figured out the supply chain. Supply chain as in, the kind of partners who
Yeah.
will be listing. What we forgot, we had a good marketing strategy, how to campaign for it and everything. The silliest thing that one can do, हमने हमारी website पे payment gateway नहीं लगाया. And we missed the ride. So yeah, now in hindsight we always laugh at it कि ये हमने क्या किया, ऐसा भी कौन कर सकता है, but that's what we did. But at that time, I think, so when we made that mistake, why we pivoted, we could have just now put a payment gateway, but why we pivoted, because at that time the market was anyway saturating. There were a lot of people, Snapdeals of the world were coming in, and we had missed the bus. So it was important for us to then pivot, and we pivoted, I think, twice in that business. We pivoted from being a discount coupon company to a gift cards company, and then eventually to a gifting company. After that, we kind of found our ground, and we became quite a celebrated brand on the marketplaces, and then ruled it for a bit. Even in the journey of building And Purpose, when we started building, when I pivoted from my career, I pivoted, and then I started consulting. But then eventually I always wanted to build something which will bring impact at scale. And privately consulting was not the thing that could have done it. So we founded And Purpose, where all these things could come together. So it kind of becomes, like for me, I've lived those pivots. But it is more of, if you think that your customer is not willing to pay for whatever product you are building, or you have perhaps, that wave has gone and you're still building in that space, it's a difficult thing to be, and it's very important for you to be just, very honest to yourself, if not anyone else, and realize that, and, kind of then make the right decisions. But I think, yes. So I have pivoted a lot in my career, and the good time for anyone to pivot is just that, if your customer is not willing to pay, the markets have really changed. It is important for you to ride that wave also early. I think when you're building as an entrepreneur, it is not only the work that you're doing, but also what's coming next, and you have to be very much aware of it. So it's a lot of hats that one needs to wear, but that's what's required. Yeah.
Fantastic. I can go on and on, but there are people who are showing me time is up. So I would love to wrap this conversation. However, I think we can take one or two questions. If there are any questions in the room, then we would take those. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up. People seem tired after the... Okay. Yes, Himanshi.
So Sanjay sir, when you decided to apply for Shark Tank 1, what were the things that made you sure that you can apply now? And what were the things that did not got you selected in the 1, and then what did you improve that got selected in 2?
So we did not apply in the season 1. but we got invited that, we got
How was
some
the process
reference.
of invitation? What was the how did you got that invitation?
I mean, that was an internal reference. Someone gave us the sort of reference that we should apply to that, but we did not do in the season 1. In the season 2, sorry, I missed that season 2 question.
I was asking that I think you said that it was not got in season 1 and then it got season 2. So you improvised something or you just applied on season 2
We
directly?
just applied in the season 2, and the only reason was that we knew that there's going to be a lot of traffic, there's going to be a lot of visibility. What we will do with that traffic? So we were not clear with that answer in the season 1 during the time where the season was happening. So in the season 2, we were ready with those answers, and hence we applied in the season 2.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Any other question? Okay, so we'll call it a day, and it was fantastic listening to you all. A legacy brand, a startup which is just in the early revenue stages, and Kamna, who's just beginning to build a community. So all three of you are in different stages of your businesses. Somebody is smiling more because she's in matured stages. The others have a little bit more butterflies, I guess.
I do think we were the original startup.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. Thank you so much for this
Thank you.
wonderful
We enjoyed this.
conversation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would just request Renu to please felicitate all our panelists. Ma'am, if you could give 2 minutes. Yeah. Ms. Janavi. Mr. Sanjay Maurya. And of course, Kamna. Wow, the photo ops is important, of course. Yeah.